Welcome on board Vipin Anand, the MD at LIC, joining in the show right now. Mr. Anand, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining in. I have to ask you first about equity markets because, we've seen a considerable rally barring the last 1 week aberration and, what's been transpiring in the last 2 days. How far do you really see the rally continue into 2021 after what's been a very strong pandemic year that we've left behind us? And what is your outlook on equities as an asset class for the year ahead?
I think what is happening now is a very healthy thing. What happened in March 2020 was something which had set everybody back a lot, including LIC. But now we have recovered all those losses which have occurred and made a very good profit also. And I think the way economy is growing, the kind of a very focused growth-oriented budget which has been presented by the Honorable Finance Minister, and the general state of the economy as it is moving forward after the initial setbacks of COVID, I think the equity market is going to grow a lot, and that would be a good thing for all the people connected.
Sure. Mr. Anand, the concern seems to be the bond yields, which are rising now in recovery, the price surge in crude as well. How is it that you see rising bond yields, both domestically as well as globally, and whether or not that's going to hamper the equity rally?
I think Indian situation is different. Two things are there. One thing is the fundamentals are strong, which is always kept us in good stead in the previous times, also when the international economy was maybe not doing so well. And the second thing is there is a lot of liquidity in the system. There is also a lot of optimism on the part of the foreign investors, because of which I feel that maybe our performance will be different than the other economies. And definitely the Indian equity market is in for some very good times henceforth.
The government, Mr. Anand, has hiked the FDI in the insurance sector to 74%. How positive is this news coming in for the insurance industry? And do you think that there is also a possibility now emerging of a foreign player in LIC given the hike in this limit?
I think this hike in FDI is a very good thing. It will, life insurance especially, and the entire insurance sector is a highly capital intensive industry. And considering the kind of solvency margins which are required, it is necessary that a lot of capital inflow should be there. The Indian promoters will have some kind of limitations as far as their own involvement in this industry is concerned, because they are not only insurance companies. And second thing which is very positive in this is that a lot of good private players from foreign countries held back because they were concerned about the control and the governance issues. I think they have been addressed in this budget. So I do see that the response to the 74% hike is going to be much more than what happened when it was raised to 29%. And as I have been saying again and again at different forums, if we really want to increase the penetration and density in the country, we need a lot more insurance companies in the life as well as in the general sector. Just to put things in perspective, when the life insurance business was nationalized in 1956. India has as many as 245 life insurance companies and provident societies doing this business. Today, we have just about 23 operating. And out of that also, other than the top 10, who are doing more than 90% of the total private sector business, the others are virtually not in the game at all. I think for the Indian insurance industry to develop, for the pie to become larger, which will also help us also tremendously. This kind of an initiative, I think, will be taking the industry forward, and we welcome it all.
And the finance minister as well has announced plans for the LIC IPO. Do you think we can expect this to be completed this year itself? And more importantly, what's kind of the broad investor feedback that you're getting on the valuation front? Because this is one of the most awaited IPOs by investors.
You see, one thing which is there is that the IPO is essentially being handled by Vipin from the finance government side. But we are, of course, as the major party involved in whether disinvestment is to occur, we are doing our part of it. As far as the progress is concerned, I think from both the parts, from Deepak's part and from our parts also, progress is highly satisfying. And yes, I do expect that we will be able to complete this exercise in the current year. There is a lot of work to be done, but I think all the structure has been put in place from all sides, and the activity has started in right earnest. So it should be possible to complete the IPO process in the current year. As far as the investor sentiment is concerned, we have not got actively involved with it. I think some views from anchor investments may be taken by the government at a later stage, but I don't think that will happen till the embedded value valuation is complete and the picture is slightly clearer as to what are going to be the parameters for the IPO. But yes, whatever we have heard so far, whatever feelers we have brought from different sectors, especially even from the retail segment, I think there is a hugely positive sentiment in the market. And I think even with the large size, LIC IPO may be hugely oversubscribed.
Okay. The government has announced very ambitious plans when it comes to disinvestment of over 2 lakh crores. LIC, of course, being a major player in the market. What's your view when it comes to the same in terms of divestments? Would LIC also be participating in the same?
This government, when they took charge then itself, they had very clearly spelled out their intentions to be more in governance and less in business. I think that is in the long term a good strategy for any government to be. Definitely it will require a lot of money in the market, and we are one of the major players in the market. So we will be doing our share. In fact, we do have a lot of cash flows coming in, and we would be looking for good opportunities, whether they are in the private sector, whether they are in the public sector, that would be there. Let me just share with you, in the current year so far, we have already made total investments of 4,30,000 crores, which is almost more than 7% more than the total of last year. We have already crossed that figure. And I think with these kind of cash flows, definitely we could be a major contributor, depending upon the quality of the assets which are going to be available.
Okay, speaking about the LIC IPO as well, reports suggest that you'd be paring stake in IDBI Bank by March or even April. Is that a possibility, and how much would you look at paring as well when it comes to that stake?
You see, if we are talking about March to April now, that is just next month, I really am not sure whether this kind of a thing may be possible. Because the very first thing for a stake sale is that we should be in a position to realize our investments and more, which currently is not really the situation. And I think the one prerequisite for this would be that the bank comes out of PCA. They have completed all the parameters required for it. And we are hoping that RBI will take a considerate view. And very soon they will come out of PCA. I think that might be the time to review this situation once again and see whether the time is right for going in for this. Ultimately, we are committed that we have to reduce our stake to a very large extent. But I think that will depend on the kind of acceptability in the market and the kind of valuation and prices which might be available.
Sure. Mr. Anand, IPO listing would also mean amending the LIC Act per se. What are the changes that could be expected in terms of the LIC Act? And would there be any changes that need to be made for distributing the surpluses?
Already proposed in the Finance Act. The ministry has put up all necessary changes which are required in the LIC Act as a part of the finance bill document, which is available in the public domain. I think there are a lot of things which which I don't think it will be possible to summarize or go into at this stage. If anybody is interested, they can always go to the finance bill and check.
Sure. COVID has certainly, Mr. Anand, changed the way businesses have been done. What are the changes that LIC has really made towards its business model, if there are any, and what are the consumer trends that you've observed post-COVID?
We were always a company very strong on IT. In fact, we are one of the largest spender on IT in the country. And this was an opportunity and a way forward. And what I think COVID has done is accelerated the digital processes. Today, we are at a stage where our entire servicing functions are available online for those who are tech savvy. Our 42% of our total renewal premium collection is now coming online. The biggest challenge for us was that the agents were not moving in the field or the customers were not allowing to meet them. We have found a solution to this challenge also. We have recently introduced an app which we have named Atmanirbhar Agents New Business Distribution Development app. And this app enables the agent to sell new business to a customer from his home. It allows him to collect the proposal deposit online. It allows him to complete all the paper online. The medical can be done through a video medical. And the customer and the agent sitting in their home can complete the deal, and maybe the policy may also be issued online. I think that is a very big step forward, and we are hoping that in the coming years, it will be a great game changer. As far as customer queries were concerned, we have a chatbot called LIC Mitra, which is available in English and Hindi. It is an artificial intelligence and machine learning enabled chatbot. In the last just about 1 year or so, we have addressed 1.5 crore queries on this chatbot. And with the kind of machine learning there has been, the accuracy of replies now has reached 96%. I think with these kind of digital movements, definitely we are on a fast track. And I am sure that in the coming months and years, the insurance market in India will develop at a much faster pace than it was happening hitherto.